you better conversation.
No, you.
New Orleans. The New Orleans Talk Network.
Welcome back. We're laughing on Variety Hour here on the New Orleans Talk Network, which you're watching. You're not just listening like that pretty says. You're watching, and that's why I keep bringing beautiful guests to compensate for this old mug. So first we want to, of course, welcome you back. As you say, it's Bob's Variety Hour, and for those who follow us know that the fourth Wednesday is Know Your Nonprofit, KNOW, your nonprofit. And we're really pleased today to have a good friend of mine. Her name is Miss Amy. She's got a name like a royalty.
Amy
and no, I'm going to try and get it off. Amy Antoinette Jean Batiste. Now, you know that's New Orleans, huh? And she is the executive director. And look at that beautiful photo, huh? In fact, they had to put my photo.
Everybody.
She's got this beautiful dress. She looks like she's going to the ball. So I took one of my dress-up photos in a tuxedo. So I said, she's not going to. I'm going to look like bum here. Anyway, look at me wasting y'all time with that. But the big deal is that I was pleased to help a little bit on the board of NHS NOLA because it's a phenomenal organization. It started years and years ago, and we're going to get in more detail with her. But we were so pleased when she accepted our invitation about the new shows to join us, to give the details, because, I mean, when I first heard about it, she was like, their organization was like the only one on the map. Now, nowadays, I don't say they're a dime a dozen, but there are numerous others that have sprung up that perform some, if not all, of the services that they render. But here you're going with a stalwart, established organization that knows what they're doing and has done wonders for our city, especially after Katrina. And we'll talk all about that during the show. So let me go ahead and, without further ado, as they say, and introduce Amy. Amy, please welcome to the show. And tell the folks a little bit about yourself, because I don't know that much about you. Go ahead.
Hey, Bob. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it, even though I had to get up super early to get here.
Cool,
but,
baby, I forgot.
It's okay.
She lives in Hattiesburg. I hope she did. Did you drive in this morning?
No, I was in New Orleans. Been here all the week this week.
All right. Whew.
So I'm Amy Batiste, married to the famous drummer Russell Batiste. So
we don't have a drummer.
As you know, the New Orleans music family. Been here since 2002, even though I spent a little bit of time in Texas in between. New Orleans is home to me. Yeah. Always been in community development. I started way back in 2002 working with St. Peter Claver with Ujima, which is in the Tremaine neighborhood. So I was groomed by Father Michael Jacques. If you know Father Mike, he was the best, and that's kind of where I got my start in New Orleans doing that work. Got 2 daughters, both are in college, so as you can imagine, super busy. No, I did not. Two babies. I guess they're my babies. So I spend most of my time working with NHS, and now my daughter, the youngest, our daughter's in the band at Alcorn State University. So we spend every home game tailgating. I told Bob earlier, it's like a second job going up there and staying 3 days, which she absolutely insists that we stay those 3 days. But I'm enjoying being a band mom, so that's good stuff.
It's only a few years.
Yeah, I know, and then it goes away.
All right. Well, that's great news, of course, other than living so far away.
Stop. New Orleans is always home, and that's what it is. Mom is in Mississippi, so, I tried to get to a place where I could be here and be near her when I need to. That's good stuff.
Admirable. Well, she's done. Now, you've been at NHS how long?
I've been at NHS since 2014. So we moved back to New Orleans in 2013.
Okay.
And then I took the leadership position at NHS in July of 2014.
Yeah, just like many organizations do. Not only does some things get old, sometimes some things have some bad spots, things that haven't been researched or looked correctly, overlooked, let's put it this way. So they really had a new launch or a relaunch of NHS back when Amy came in and the board and brought back some, of course, the most important players in the board, but brought on some new ones at that time and continue to feed that with regard to bringing in freshness, fresh ideas, and movement toward their expansion. So that's what's great about it. So even though it's a long, because this is our big anniversary, right?
Well, we're celebrating our 40th year
Wow.
this whole year. In fact, last year, at the end of the year, was our 40th anniversary on the day, but this year still celebrates that 40
Memorial Year.
years
Wow.
of being in New Orleans. In fact, NHS was started by Whitney Bank. So
I know,
bankers,
I
Whitney
thought-
bankers realized that folks didn't understand anything about the mortgage process,
No.
and so that's where we got our start. And here we are, in 1976 is when it started, and we're still going and growing.
Amazing. And of course, brought into real prominence post Katrina.
Correct.
When the housing inventory was so few and far between, so that really emphasized the need for our population to be able to get not just housing but affordable. Because I tell the story all the time. Living uptown, I remember the Friday before Katrina. I don't want to waste our time too much, but there was a lovely rental on Napoleon. Of course, it's a lovely area. Now it was a fourplex, and one of the units was empty,
Right.
and it had been on the market, open for X number of months. I didn't track it that long, but and it was asked at like $550 a month.
Yeah,
The day after Katrina, now very few people are back. Fortunately, we were spared the water where we were,
Right.
so they just changed the price. Just added $300 the price. It was now $850, and it was taken up within 2 weeks.
Oh, absolutely. And you'd be lucky to find something for $850
Today,
It's
and that today,
unbelievable. That's right.
Unbelievable. Well, let's go ahead and let's not jump ahead with my stupid examples. Let's talk about the base. Let's give it. What is our mission? Because I know that was all part of the relaunch, re-looking at it, expanding on it.
And you were a part of that wonderful
come on.
board
Well,
workaround.
That's why I had to
vision,
leave.
which took a very
you don't
long
need that
time.
old time. I'm getting him out of there. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness! So, with the rebranding of NHS, the board took a look at the mission and decided to modernizing it a little bit and to really focus in on what we do, so that when you read the mission, you got a feel for what NHS is doing and hoping to achieve at the, when we can say we've achieved the mission and hang the hat on the wall.
Right.
This is what we've done. So it's to create and sustain healthy and vibrant neighborhoods through real estate development, education, and community building activities that improve the quality of life of all residents. Now, that's a whole lot.
A lot.
But what it means is we look to improve the built neighborhood, so that's
Right.
housing, that's supporting businesses, the built neighborhood, the buildings, what you
Right.
see, what you live in, what you go to receive services, education. We'll talk a little bit more about the programs of NHS, but we offer consumer education that can help individuals and households improve their quality of life, and community building activities. Now, that could span from anything to one of the Halloween costume giveaways that we have to volunteer efforts. I think some of the pictures were scrolling earlier where we were doing some lawn work, and we do beautification, and
Phenomenal,
we partner with all kinds of folks on volunteer efforts. So that's what we do in the neighborhoods, community building.
That's excellent. So you see, as you said, the mission is very large, but they're doing a lot of the mission now. Of course, they're quantifying or objectifying that subjective terms, but bringing it down to the reality. It's not just, well, we'll teach people how to get a loan. No, I mean,
Right.
yes, we do. Yes, they do. But at the same time, we want to not only get, I'm saying we, NHS.
It's still we. You're still a part of us.
NHS really wants to get not only the people into a place of their own, which in many times is their first time situation,
Right.
but also to make sure that they're going into a place that they're going to like, not just to have roof over their head,
Right.
that they're going to have neighbors that they like, they're going to have a good neighborhood, they're going to have access to the things you need. I mean, we don't want to have, just like for years, we never had a Walmart even in New Orleans. And not that Walmart is, because that's pros and cons, but you have to have, that's why New Orleans was has grown up as small industry, and that's all we still are, small businesses. Mom and pop shops on the corner with groceries or with gas stations with horrible cigarette stations, stuff like that, candy sweets, and that's it. So what we want to do, not necessarily reintroduce all of that, but the things to make sure that there's access. So if mom who's got children, she can't maybe jump in the car and go 4 miles to the big box store, she can go nearby with the kids for a walk and get something she needs. So this is what's good about it. They're looking holistically at the approach, not just, hey, we got another one in there. You know, it's not that kind, not like a used car salesman. Put it up on the board.
Another box on the ground.
Exactly.
Is what I call it.
It's from beginning. It's teaching you how to do it, teaching you how to get it, and then teaching you what to do to keep it. That's the key, because if you're only going to be there in a year, why go through all this effort? Because it is a lot of effort. It's not just walking in the door and getting it. So they can't promise you that. You've got to put out something as well as being receptive to putting it out. Okay. Now what we're going to do now, I think, is take our first break, because we don't want to get too deep. We're going to actually, as Amy promised, when we come back, we're going to go ahead and start breaking down those programs and services, and to move along all the way to what she's doing nowadays and some of the great events that they're staging and maybe you can participate with. So we've got a full half hour, 45 minutes left to do. When we come back, we're just going to be a brief raffle, because, when we have a guest, we try and minimize that time on the raffle.
Hey, I didn't know anything about the raffle.
I know. Well, you're eligible now after the show. You're in it. Anyway, so we'll talk about that, how to register. We're going to run the gift from last week one more week. We never go more than 2 weeks, and then we just bring something new on. So we'll do just a few minutes on the raffle on the way back, and then we'll get back to the important stuff. So take a look at some of these things that we need to support the show. Take care.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Lewis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
And as Amy just said to me softly, quietly, softly, you're watching the New Orleans Talk Network. And we're here at Bob's Variety Hour, the Know Your Nonprofit Week. We're privileged to have Miss Amy Antoinette John Batiste.
Amy, thank you.
With us talking about NHS NOLA. But before we go back to that, we want to tell everyone about the raffle. As you know, we give a prize usually every week. The only time we don't give it is when we get, we have a random pick our solution thing. And if we give it like 1 or 2 tries during the week, and if the person doesn't respond to our email, then we hold it over for one more week. So that's what we're doing. We didn't even bring in. Mike has the pictures. Maybe he'll put them up. There you go. Remember, this is really, it's an unusual item. It's in the Oriental flair. It's basically years ago, started in Roman times, but also, as you know, China was even before Rome. The way they carried snuff. I don't know if you know what snuff. Snuff is stuff you put in your nose. And that was the old way to get high, basically. And, of course, the more fancy container you whipped out when you were plugging it, the more you were admired. So the Oriental is very, very fancy in learning to paint glass and stuff like that. Now, this is not an antique, folks. I'm not trying to tell you this is worth thousands of dollars, because if you had a real one, this is a replica, reproduction. It's in perfect condition, hand painted, both sides, beautiful Oriental motifs. And I came up with the idea, if you take the cork out, ladies can use it, like put some, if they have a perfume bottle, not to spray, if they have the kind you could pour some in, put it in their little purse, and they got a beautiful look. And they can,
that's a nice idea.
So even if you, or you can just put it on the somewhere in the house as a decorative item, because it's a cute little piece. It comes in a great little box, a beautiful lined Oriental red box with a little bone thing. So it's a nice little gesture. I mean, if you like
Christmas
it, if you don't.
The holidays are coming up. It's a great gift.
Look at this girl.
idea.
Typical woman. Typical
Always
can think of. Anyway, you've got only one more chance. And remember, all you have to do, we're going to go over one real quickly, one time. You only have to register one. But Amy doesn't even know it. I registered her a long time ago. So she's in it. She can be eligible. If she stays in it and stays there, even if you win, we don't take your name out. You can win again. All right? So here's the way to register. The best way is to send it. There it is. That's by email. You want to go to that email, bob@allreview.com, and you want to include your full name, your email address, and your zip code. The email address is the most important, so we know how to get in touch with you. We're not asking for your phone number. It's not that kind of personal invasion. But if you don't respond to our email, then we go on and we have a second pull. And if by that week, if we don't, then we're going to, like in this time, if we don't get one or two, someone who's going to be interested in it, then we will just give it away to Goodwill or something like that. Anyway, so jump in there, because even if you don't win this thing, we go on and on. You know, we've had, for those who watch this, we've had jazz tickets, we've had art, and we're going to have, I know we got more art coming down the tube, so that's always something to put something on the wall. All right, enough said. All right, Amy's now going to lead us through by, we talked overview of each of the programs and services that she renders to the community. We're going to kind of break it down so you'll know, in case we just, it wasn't easy to follow, knowing all the different subsets, because it's not just a simple thing. You go in there, you give them your name, and you apply for a loan. Okay, it's a little more than that. And she's going to tell you how this organization can help you and prepare you for buying a home. Go ahead.
All right, so one of the most important things that we do at NHS is help you, consumers, become mortgage ready. And I say mortgage ready because if you've ever saw a house or for sale sign in a yard and you're like, oh, well, I don't know if I could, I'd love to have that. I don't even know what it means. What does a mortgage mean? What does pity mean? What does that mean about property tax and all those things? And what does insurance mean? NHS is a HUD certified agency, and that's important. That means that the HUD has said that these folks are good, and we recommend them along with a lot of others to provide homebuyer education. It's called pre-purchase counseling, actually. So we have a 16-hour.
16 hours?
Yeah, but you do it in 2 Saturdays.
Okay.
You come over to NHS at our office, and we'll give you that information later, and you spend time with professionals in the housing industry. We have facilitators, but we do actually have loan originators from banks, and they tell you exactly what they're going to look for.
So can you, without spending too much time, can you go walk through, what are the steps during those 2 days of session?
Sure. So to get started, you would contact NHS, and I think they're going to put our contact information up on the screen. You're going to contact us, either go onto our website, and you'll see a tab where you can sign up for classes, or you can call the number, which is on your screen as well, and which is 504-899-5900 if you're just listening to us.
Yes.
So you will do what's called Kleine Intake. And a lovely lady, Miss Janice Miles, will take your information and tell you all of the things that you need to bring in. Things like pay stubs, things like your name. You have to fill out an application. We then pull your credit scores. It's a soft pull. Right? It's a soft, so it's not a hard inquiry on your credit score,
might not
right?
know what that means.
But we pull your score, and then we evaluate you. We say, okay, this person looks good. This person needs to get signed up for Homebuyer Education. You sign up for the class. You pick the dates that you want, and we run them all year. So we have a few left this year. We've already got the schedule for next year. You come in and you take the class. You arrive, you get a book, you sit down and you listen. It's very interactive. You get to ask questions. You get to talk to people. Once you complete the 2 Saturdays, you understand how I become a homeowner, what steps I need to take, and then we continue to hold your hand. After that, you'll do some one-on-one counseling. We have counselors that sit with you, that go over budgets with you, how to create a household budget. They look at your credit. They help you get things restored on your credit. So don't stress out about, oh, my credit score is so low, I don't know what to do. I'm going to pay this $99 I see advertised on the TV. You see all of that kind of stuff on TV all the time.
Wow.
We don't do that. You come in, you sit, and if you work with our counselors, and if you do what they tell you to do, whether it's going to take you 6 months or 18 months, we will get you ready to make that step into owning a home, or maybe other things that you want to do. And that's it. On the Homebuyer Education side, we get you in, we take you all the way to closing. We're right there with you. And then after you purchase the home, you can always come back for training on how to keep up the home.
Okay, well, let's
So there
keep
you
that
go.
Yeah, let's start with
That's Homebuyer Education.
Yeah. The key there is, I think Mike's going to put up there the remaining class. We don't have the new schedule for 18.
And we will
there you
send it
go.
over
You can
to
see
you.
those dates in case, it's a good time right now because, everybody's thinking, ooh, what would be great for next year, and especially the home market to see what's available.
Right.
So here's a good idea, look while the kids are in school, and maybe you can take a Saturday. You don't have to do tailgating, and you can do this.
So if you look on the left side of on the left column, that's the Homebuyer Education classes, and we're going to talk about financial fitness next. But
so the key, and all of these, there's only one side y'all teaching them at, right?
Right, at 4528 Ferret Street. It's a big blue building. Can't miss it.
Right in the heart of Ferret. In fact, these folks are one of the primary responses with regard to rebuilding Ferret Street after
Absolutely.
Katrina. Brought us in they brought together the first neighborhood festival, which we all have festivals now in our block. We don't have to go downtown or halfway around the city. They got them in so many neighborhoods, and that was the whole part of the revitalization, was start to bring back the community by getting a unifying element, restoring those buildings, bringing back into commerce things that had been, Ferret Street had been vacant for years.
Absolutely.
It was, back in the 60s or 70s at the latest that they had any kind of vibrant market. Today you can't find an opening. In fact, some of the few vacant spaces, they built big buildings to accommodate all the new, not only commercial, but also residential. They're putting, I see, apartments and condos right above there. So what better place could you be? And really, these guys are part of the main reason that corridor became the prototype for the whole city's development. It really was.
Much for that, Bob.
Well, no, because I recognized early on, and that's what really brought y'all to living uptown. Even though I didn't sustain damage, I saw this was the need, and you all were filling it, and you couldn't have done a better job in that area by bringing people together. Okay, so now she told you where it's going to be, and we've shown you an example of the remaining classes, so we're ready to go. Now, let's go into this. So that's home buying. That's if you decide, hey, I'd like to stop being a renter, because rental, everything is so expensive today. I mean, we know that. We talked about that today earlier in the show. But the advantages of a home, it's not only the privacy, the ability to, have your neighbors are knocking on your door or on your walls, but the whole idea of being able to develop your personal assets. All that thing about credit, it's no good unless you have a base, and that forms your base because you're developing
wealth.
That's right. You might not have it in your pocket today, but you ever think about selling that house, you're going to see where the wealth is. The investment that you have bought escalates in almost every situation. In today's world, there's very few things that appreciate. They all, like you buy a car, by the time you drop it off, it's like half value by the time you drop it off the lot.
That's right.
So this is one of the few things that remain. Now, stocks and all, sure, they can escalate, but it's a risk. You know, you don't know. It could drop up and down all day. It drives you crazy. This is a permanent, just like buying property. Well, the real estate, your homeowners builds, just builds your assets so you become a solid person. And that's the key to the whole idea. So we've gone over what it takes to learn to do this should you want to make that step.
And one additional thing I want to say to that, when there is subsidy out there for soft second mortgages, any kind of money that helps you get into a home, typically in this region, New Orleans and Jefferson, they require homebuyer education.
Yes.
So if any of you have heard about this $40,000 that's right now on the street in Jefferson Parish to help you own, Jefferson Parish is going to send you to somebody like NHS. We are one of their partners. You've got to come in and get that training.
Yeah.
And look, folks, that money is out there on the market right now. Take advantage of it.
And what that means, and then, again, if you're really a novice, which I think we
That's
and
fine.
she's
Call
using
us.
some technical term, they're going to explain it over the phone and real. But like a soft second means basically there's a requirement that's going to be called a financial requirement that you have to have a deposit. Just like you were buying anything or putting a delay, you have to put a deposit there. The problem is it's a large percentage, maybe 20%, I don't know the exact amount, which you might not have if you're just starting out or you just haven't had a chance to save. The thing here is there are provisions in affordable housing, as you mentioned, periodically different forms of the government, state or federal, will give you assistance to cover that or help minimize that deposit so you can afford it. So the deposit won't be the wipe out the deal that we can't do. I can't get the kind of money together.
And it helps you meet the gap too. Say for instance, we qualify you at $150,000 and the house is $190,000. That little $40,000 plug is what gets you in the door. So take advantage of the services that we offer to you.
All right, so let's go into the next step.
Financial literacy. Have you ever gone into the mall and they say, hey, do you want to apply for this credit card right now? It'll save you 10%.
Never.
And then they run the credit and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You didn't get it. I mean, I've had it happen. Surely you've had it happen.
Course.
And they're going to send you a letter in the mail.
Yeah, on top of that.
Well, NHS offers what we call financial fitness. It's also called financial literacy. What this class does is meets on Thursday nights, and you'll have the dates up. It's a 12-hour class. So, and it's for Thursdays. It's for Thursdays. Because the idea is that we want you to have time to come and really interact, and you go home and you have a question, you come back. We don't do those one-day things where you get all this information at one time, and then you don't even remember what was said. So you come in, people eat, they bring their sodas, and you really hang out with some experts, and you're able to interact and learn about the processes. So financial literacy is geared toward helping you understand and properly use credit and your finances. How do you save? How do you create budgets? How do you improve credit scores? So it's a broad view of how do I improve my financial health and well-being.
And this is so important. In my days, and even though my father was an accountant, none of the children ever learned any of these things.
No.
We were never taught that. That was business. He was in business, that was what he did. But he didn't portray that to us. Either he didn't want us to get into it, or just thought, children have to live their lives. And we've got so much going on now, anyway, with our families. Oh, who wants to do this? Who wants to worry about what my credit score is? But it's so important to make it important for your family. You just can't live without all of these things today. I don't mean necessarily home, but the whole idea of credit. If you wouldn't be for credit today, the United States would be zero.
Right.
So you've got to learn how to have credit, and if you don't, you just can't function. And you can't function all cash today because no one can handle that nowadays. Anyway.
And it teaches you how to save. Talk to you about retirement.
Exactly.
And investing as you're starting out to think about investing. You hear about stock market, but many of us, first generation wealth builders don't even know what that means. So you get to learn a lot about just how to use money and how to make money work for you.
Yeah. We need to, and I know especially in the certain communities where, no problem, if I need money, I'll go to Cash Cow, or I'll go to...
Oh, no.
The worst thing you can do, now sure, you get your money that day, but you have put yourself in debt so much, and this is what makes these organizations grow, because your $100 borrowing today it's probably going to cost you $400 to pay back. And I'm not joking. I'm not trying to make it sound. Your interest rate, which you don't even see, they don't say, oh, you're getting a 48% interest rate. Congratulations. Absolutely not. And that's the key here. So we make these short-term decisions. I got to have this $100 down. I'll just go there and get it off of that. I'll show them I have a pay stub. I'm working. One of the worst decisions, you are crucifying, putting a nail in your own cross or coffin. Let's take it out of religion, in your own coffin. Because those industries, the finance industry has made it off of the back of the impoverished or the people who do not have credit.
Working folks.
And they've been, and even though they're censored, I mean, more and more states have put controls. They have more ways. They layer all these other things, charges on you, so you are giving a wonderful business for them, but you will never break free. It's like a disease, a terminal disease that you can't get rid of.
And I'll tell you, Bob, the other thing we're saying
I don't mean to bring us
no,
down
it's okay.
here,
No, this is good. And this is why you come, to the class. The other thing we're seeing is student loan debt.
Oh, wow. That's much
all
more relevant today, yeah.
Right? So when you're signing all those papers and you're agreeing to this student loan debt, you really don't get all of the fine print about what you're signing up for. Right. What it means, and there, many of us have gotten into the trap of taking all the money when we didn't need all the money, and we were using it, and for many reasons why. Right. It's a no judgment zone. No. But now, in this market, the repayment of student debt is causing a lot of people not to be able to own because all of this debt is out there. So we do help you learn about managing debt, whatever the debt may be, and help you get a better financial standing so that when you go to buy the car, you're not having to get the high interest rate. They'll tell you, no credit, no problem. You still end up paying for that in the fees and the high interest rates. Yeah. So we want to help you to restore and improve your financial health.
Yeah. It's 100%. I mean, if you ever take a look at all the detail on that active sale of a car, and even if you got a good rate, how much money when the time you finish paying that car loan? Because today car loans, I have one 6 years. I mean, I'm just coming off of it. It's the longest I've ever. Goodness. It's always been 2 or 3 years. But I had a terrible situation where I couldn't. My other car was ruined by some of our streets. I had to donate it to charity, and I had no money to nothing for a down payment. Right. So I got creamed. Excuse me. And I'm paying out. And if you would look how much money I have paid for the initial price, which I thought, that's a good price. But I didn't pay that. I paid double that.
3 times over sometimes.
Minimum double that. So that's what you have to look at. Not at the immediate, even though we're all in the immediate. It's me, now. That is our focus today, even more so today. And we've got to say, but what is it going to do to me tomorrow? Right. Okay, we have that car tomorrow.
What does my credit profile
the price is already gone. I mean, the value has already gone down. Our debt has gone up here. Right. So that's what we have to think. It's not the immediacy of that need, that want, how much we're going to pay for that.
And how we plan for that. Okay. So if we could maybe put the dates back up before.
Michael?
That'd be great.
So
if you look on the right side of that column, and those are the remaining financial literacy classes. And look, I was wrong. It's 3 Thursdays, see?
I was wondering because
so you still have time to sign up for the October and the November. Okay. And then I'll make sure I'll send over the 18 schedule for you. Yeah, but please get in the classes. You're gonna really enjoy and learn a lot from the classes. You can find us on the web. You can call us. And we will help you every step of the way.
And I'm speaking out of turn, and I haven't gotten the final approval from our owner of our station, but I told Amy a long time ago I've been trying to do some collaboration here with NHS, and what better way we can work out a situation for our West Bank folk that they come here instead of having, not that that's 40 miles, but everyone knows everyone likes to be in their own place, So why not we have a magnificent event room right attached to the station. Why not use that to set up some of these classes for those West Bank folk, whether you Jefferson or Orleans, can come and have those classes, that counseling. So we're hoping that's going to mirror.
Oh, absolutely. We're excited about that.
But we're
excited about that.
We will keep it abreast of you because that's got to be better for everyone because it's
Absolutely.
a lot less to have to go all the way across that horrible bridge. That's the worst thing between the two things is the bridge.
Absolutely, we'd love to do it. We're open for
Well,
that.
again, I'm talking out of turn, but I just think, people say, well, I'm not going to go all the way to East. It's the old East Bank, West
not
Bank
going uptown,
rivalry.
way
Yeah,
over there.
yeah. Anyway, so don't let that be the final obstacle, especially for the future. Not for the rest of this year probably, but who knows? We'll see. We'll let you know if there's a breaking news, alert. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, where do we go from here? So those are all the classes that we
So that's on the. At some point, that some of the homes that we have that are coming up soon.
We're going to tease them with that. The tease, because look what our friend Mike has said. Mike lets us know that, hey, y'all are having too much fun there. So we're going to tease that audience, and we're going to show you something in a minute. But, well, it might be 2 minutes. I'm lying, 1 minute. Because it's time for our next break. Now, we try and keep these to 2. Hopefully, no more than 1 more so we can get through this. But go ahead and check all of our sponsors and our other shows on here. We'll be back in a little bit so we can show you some of the finished products. So you don't even have to go outside of the class to find something that's affordable that would hopefully meet your need. Okay, see you in a minute.
All right.
This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. You can call in, you can ask me questions. Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
It gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Well, welcome back. And hopefully you're finding this so informative, educational, and couldn't come from a prettier face and mouth, huh? We're hearing it directly. It's so lovely to hear those sounds coming out and giving us hardcore facts, folks. That's the key. I know it's not a subject that it's not as bad as taxes, but at the same time, it's not a subject. Oh, well, no, I don't want to hear that. Well, I mean, sometimes we have to bite the bullet if we really want. If we have a goal, if we have that desire at the end of the rainbow, then you have to put in some of the time. It's not going to just appear on your doorstep. So we've gone over all the great opportunities you have to learn how to get a home, whether it's through this organization or anywhere. but how to get your credit right, how to understand, how to learn to build the fortune that you really want. We always say, oh, I want all this money. Well, not everybody gets on a game show. Not everybody wins the lottery.
Absolutely.
So for us who don't do that, you have to take some other steps if you want to make a go of it in this life. All right. So now we're getting ready to say, as we said, we're talking about the building where she actually has builders on board. Go ahead. Let me you take them. Show what kind of product you can get to these people.
I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's looking at us live stream on
right.
Facebook. That's why you keep seeing me looking down, because we're trying to invite folks to come out here. I'm multitasking if that's actually true and able to do. So one of the things that we do at NHS, we do build and sell homes. Okay.
Something I haven't done since the beginning of the show. And if they're all texting,
I'm going to check this.
Some of these people are old like me and don't do that, but they do this. Da, 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 da. Hello. So we're going to give you a number, 504-341-8255, 504-341-TALK. If you want to speak to this lovely lady and you don't want to do it on here, you can call the number, all right? And I apologize for not giving it to the beginning of the show. All right. Get into the product.
Now, if I can actually speak. So, NHS has a series of about, I don't know, right now we have 30 lots in our inventory.
All right.
So the city of New Orleans was gracious enough to donate properties to NHS post-Katrina. We had about 70 lots, and we developed about half of those. And so now we're going to the stretch of the last 30 or so.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We're looking to acquire more, because what we want to do is make homes affordable for you, for working families, for people that, the teachers and the firefighters and the folks that go to work in the French quarters and on the West Bank.
Even if you could afford more, the ones who want to be able to pay it off
Absolutely.
and have money for the future.
Absolutely. And we want to make it affordable, because right now, if you're riding around New Orleans, you're looking at home prices that are $220 and $240, and even on the West Bank, they're going up. It's so expensive. So NHS is always committed to helping you get into a home that you can afford to live in. And of course, we've already told you how we help you get ready. Now let's talk about the built product. So we have properties that are in the 7th Ward, and we have some in Central City. And this particular home that you're seeing on the screen now is one that'll be coming up early spring. We hope to have
a model for what they're
we're going to have, this is a model of the home we're going to have ready no later than Mardi Gras, if not earlier. I'll tell you, it's getting permitting done in the city right now is just slow. But this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. Goodness. And so you're looking at 2 floor plans. So it's a left floor plan that we're doing, because that's the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it has off-street parking, which is a wonderful thing, which is what we hear that folks want. We know you want to be able to pull that car off the street. This home will be on the market, and Bob, I'll let you know when we get ready to do the groundbreaking, and then when the home is ready for folks to come and look at it, because we are going to open it up and let you look at it a little bit before it is sold. But this is an example of the homes we're going to be rolling out in 18. So 18 is going to be our big production year to get started getting these homes built and ready for you. And that's just one of many models. Obviously, if you go through Homebuyer Education and you get pre-approved for an amount, we can basically build you what you want. So that's always good stuff.
Hey, that's exactly right.
And so we want to make these homes available to you, working people, folks that want to own. Right now, what the statistics are telling us is that most of you out there are renting, you're paying 50 to 55% of your income on rent. And that's just
now, let me ask this question. If someone, is it a possibility they can see the addresses of the 30 properties that you plan on building on, even though it's there, so that if they would want to be in a particular one, then maybe you could push it ahead of the schedule, and because they want that location. So it's not like you just got to take what we got.
Oh, no, not at all. So what you can do is contact us, and again, you're going to have the contact information on the screen. Our number is 504-899-5900. Just tell them that you saw Amy on the show, and you want to find out how you can take advantage of being a homeowner, and maybe you want to pick your own lot, and we'll work with you. We have realtors and brokers that work with us to help you get into the home that you want. Then the other thing we do, let's say you have a home that you own now, and you've owned, and if you're living in our region, some of our housing stock is old, right?
Right,
Or even if it's not super old, there are a few things that you need done to it.
sure.
NHS does construction management. Now, let me tell you why that's important.
That's new because that was being talked about, done when I was on the board. So this is great, especially for us seniors that have lived in our homes for a while. And just as she said, sometimes our medical conditions will require us to make not just improvements to the house, but to our availability in the house, our accessibility to the bathroom or to the hall. So let's get really detailed because this is a great new mode of activity that NHS has gotten into that serves a lot of the existing population who might not be interested in going to buy something new. Go ahead.
Right. So that there are two things. So Bob went into one of the other programs, so I'll go into that first. We offer aging in place. Okay. So our aging in place program comes under construction management, and what we do is work with people who may need ramps, or they may be wheelchair bound and they need wider doorways, or you may need shower bars. We have a small grant through the partnership with the Greater New Orleans Foundation, which we're very pleased to have that grant through GNOV, where we're able to come in and help you retrofit your home. Wow. So we get a small grant for that. We're always looking for more people to donate in support of that because we often have a waiting list of over 100 people who are looking to widen their doorways. Yeah. And you know what we know from research is that the longer you are able to stay in your home and be self-sufficient, the longer you live. Exactly. And that's just the bottom line.
Everybody
so that is a great program.
Yeah,
I think we had a picture of one of the ramps that we built.
Yeah,
maybe we can put that up on the screen.
Everybody can show, if
possible.
Is that it? No,
that's our board getting trained.
He'll bring it up while
he's gonna bring it up while we talk. And he's gonna pull it over.
But it's so important because I mean, too many of our today, unfortunately, even though the cost is now making it a reversal, but in the last 10, 20 years, the big thing, mom's too old to stay at home. We put her in a nursing home. And two things. One, nursing homes are so expensive. You have to give your life. You have to give up your life financially and personally to pay for those nursing homes.
Absolutely.
So, and as you just mentioned, the medical studies have proven that part of the problem is not only the aging process and the medical disabilities that come with it, but you take out their mental faculties with regard to putting them into a new environment with people they don't know, and many times
don't want to know.
Not that there's anything wrong, because everybody's people are the same. It's just the concept that they have withdrawn, like a child. Their circle of friends is only their immediate family and maybe a neighbor or two, and maybe not even that, maybe just themselves. So you put them in this environment, you're hastening their death instead of prolonging their life.
Absolutely.
So this is the key. Here's the way to do that. You just, we get rid of mom's house and then we use that money. Well, sure, you can do that, and it may or may not help, but why not keep her or him where he's comfortable?
Where he can come out on the porch because we're porch people in the South. We like to come outside and we like to talk to our neighbors. So I think the picture was up of a ramp that we did for a senior in Central City, and this is just an example of many of the things that we do through aging in place. We want to help you with that, and so you can give a call and see what we have available. And again, we're always looking for donations to help that particular program because the need is so great there.
And the city tried to do it. In fact, I put so many people on that probably would shut it down. It was either probably right before Katrina, maybe the year before. They put aside a small amount of money. Of course, that was the problem. They had no money to do it, just so they would shut some of us up. But at the same time, it was used up in moments.
Right.
And the line was still there and growing all the time. So the need is there.
Absolutely.
Folks. It really is. The folks need disabled, no matter whether a baby or a child or an old person. There is need for these type of things. And not necessarily just a ramp, as you mentioned, for bathroom. I know I can't get up anymore. I have claw tubs, and it sounds gross, but I can't get out of the claw tub anymore. I've got some old problems, and that's it. So this is what you need, some kind of ramp on this. Like you see
bars,
if you go to a hotel,
bars.
The best hotel, any hotel. You're going to see the shower, they're built-in ramps, no matter what your room is, that has for you to help you hold on so you won't slip, even though how young you are. So these are the kind of things that they can do an assessment, or unless you already know, to bring your loved one's home or yourself home up so you feel more comfortable and prevent falling, which of course is the biggest problem in all of our old lives. Go ahead, let's go on.
So we also do construction management. So say you have a home and you know you need some work done, and if any of you remember after Katrina, there was so much construction fraud. There was so much contractor fraud because folks just didn't know. And they gave people money, and he said, the contractor said, I'm going to do the work. And they came and never came back. Or the work was not quality work. So what NHS can do is NHS can go in and write a scope of work, you know, and they can work with you on selecting a good contractor. We don't have a dog in that hunt. We can select a contractor, and we can manage that construction from start to finish. So you know you have someone that you can trust that's saying, yeah, this is good work, here's a scope of work, and we can help you get that done. We also offer home inspections, and it's a plethora of things that we offer on that side. So we can help you retrofit a home that you have. We can help you get contractors in to do the work, and we'll monitor that work and ensure that the work is done and the money you're paying is going towards some quality work.
And even bring in, if you don't do it yourself, like some of these energy consultants, right?
Right.
For like whether it's solar, wind, or anything like this.
We can work with you with any contractor that's approaching you and saying, hey, I got a great deal.
Gotta get these
Call
panels
NHS.
on, gotta get those panels
Call
on.
NHS and let us help you think through the process.
Because having that third party with the established reputation and the professionals on staff is a big deal. You're not trusting just, even though everybody thinks that you're a genius, you know nothing.
Yeah.
And if you live through that Katrina while they rebuild, you know there's so much junk that has to, no one can retain, even the contractors, the amount of detail that's required to rebuilding a home or even the retrofitting. So you've got to trust, put it to someone else who does it every day, but you got to have someone you trust.
Right.
And too many of the contractors, you don't know them from saying, oh, well, you know, I got them out of the yellow pages. This is what you need to reference here to either use their workers or the workers that they recommend.
Sure.
Okay. What else? Because, oh, my goodness.
So I think we only have a few minutes left. Maybe we want to talk about some things we have coming up. Yeah.
The events.
How
Oh, my
about some
God.
things we got
This
coming
is
up?
the fun stuff. I mean,
All
not
right.
that isn't fun, but the destination is fun. This is stuff you can do now and have fun. Let's go.
All right. So as you know, as Bob said earlier, we're in our 40th year. And last year we launched a celebrity luncheon event. This year it's a celebrity cabaret.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's going to be hosted by the wonderful Trixie Minks, if you know Ms. Trixie Minks. And if not, you should look up Trixie Minks at trixieminks.com.
Be interesting.
Trixie Minks is a local entertainer, and I'll leave it there, and you can look up
That's
Trixie.
Right. Enough said on that.
We are having our celebrity cabaret luncheon at Fogo de Chao on Canal, the Brazilian steakhouse. I know Lynn well.
Oh, please tell her I love her.
She's going to be looking for you.
Under the weather last
Yeah,
few
she's
weeks.
going to be looking
She's
for
the
you to be
manager,
there.
I think,
Yes,
isn't
she
it?
is.
And it's a great place, folks. And people say, what is that name? That's so funny. That's something to do with pigs and stuff. No, it's a wonderful. Is it Argentinian?
It's a Brazilian steakhouse, and it's a lovely place. We're having it intentionally. We started last year on Veterans Day. This year it's going to be November 10th.
Okay.
11 to 2. Again, right the day before Veterans Day, we're going to honor our veterans and talk about the programs and the things that we've done with veterans, this Aging in Place being one of them. We've served a lot of veterans through that program. It's a time to celebrate NHS and celebrate some of the things that happened during the year, invite more of you to learn about what we do, and you can go on our website and find out about the event and get tickets, because this is our fundraiser too. So it allows us to continue to offer these programs and services that are so needed in the community.
And they'll have their regular menu, or is it something different they do?
They're going to have a smaller snapshot of their regular menu. So it's going to be lots of
For those
big,
who don't
huge
know,
salad bar with all kinds of stuff, and they're going to bring meats around.
the
And
guys
the
all
vegans
dressed
and the vegans and the vegetarians, don't worry. The salad bar is to die for. It's going to be on the second
that's right.
floor.
They don't have anything for vegetarian. I said, yeah, go to that bar. Look, there's more there than any salad bar you've ever seen.
I know. We're going to have some celebrity guests.
And
they're going to be there. They are a secret right now,
surprise.
but some people that
Surprise.
you know,
Other than
in the
Amy,
area,
there's
and they're
gonna
going to
be-
sing. I mean, I think Trixie's doing a production.
Oh,
it's going to
yeah,
be
she's- yes.
blast. We're going to have a lot of
And
fun.
what time is it? Night or day? Or
It's
both?
during the day. It's always during lunch, so you can come get a great lunch and go back to work. 11 to 2. There'll be a silent auction. I'll expect you to be there and probably helping announce all of that great stuff. And
you'll do verbal too or just silent?
We'll do verbal.
Okay.
We'll do verbal
I'll
too.
be glad to help you with
so
that.
we'd love to have you to come out 11 to 2, Fogo de Chao. Go on our website at
What day of the week is that, honey?
www.nhsnola.org. It is on a Friday.
Friday, good. So, even if
You know how we are in New
a little
Orleans. We
longer
take a
for
long lunch and then we
right.
just...
Fridays, that is excused by your boss. I mean, that's natural. So.
And it's for a good cause. We've been around a long time.
That's right. And you hear the amount of services that they do for the community. So we need them. And especially if she drags me back in on the board, which I don't.
Yeah, we've already asked him to come on the board.
Well,
So
we'll
everybody
see.
send your
We'll
votes
see.
for a yes. I'll tell you one thing that we're going to feature there, though. Last year, I announced a lady that was homeless that came to work with us at NHS. And so I'm going to give you a little preview. I'm so excited. At this one, we'll be announcing that she's a homeowner.
Homeless.
So she was homeless.
To
She can ride you
homeowner.
around and show you all the places that she lived in the city under bridges and everything. And so
Homeless
this
to
year,
homeowner. Can
we've
you believe
made,
it, folks?
she is a homeowner.
That is the extreme situation.
So that'll be featured. So thank you.
All right. Again, we're so blessed to have her in our community, and Mississippi doesn't know what they miss on several days of the week. It's Amy Antoinette, John Batiste of Neighborhood Housing Services, New Orleans on Ferret Street. Don't forget to look them up. Take advantage of any of their opportunities. We thank them so much for coming on board.
Thank you, Bob.
See us next week. I don't even know what we got scheduled next week, but we got next week is October 1st? I think so. That's our new series called Chef's Chat. It's hard to say. Where we're going to be bringing chefs from not only in the nation, but in the world. The second chef is from London, England live.
Wow.
First one's from Atlanta, hot Atlanta. Everybody loves them hot Atlanta jobs. So we're going to have him Skyping in, showing his dishes, and he was here for the Local Taste Chef Challenge. That's how I met him, and I brought him on board. So y'all need to watch next week, Chef's Challenge. See you in a week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right, you did wonderful, my sweet.